welcome back to Barker-Stargazer's YouTube channel, where we focus mainly on crochet, and we seem to mainly focus on taking these sort of AI images and seeing how close we can get to them in reality. Now, last month's poll was these birds here, and the winner is... Ding! There was some debate online about this, especially over on Reddit. I was calling it a budgie, but we're going to settle on fantasy bird. Okay, I have already done the sketch, so I'm going to talk you through some of the ideas that I figured out as I have been doing that. Right, so here is my sketch. I've done it off camera because I was listening to a podcast. Now I am going to colour it in, but the colours aren't going to be what they are going to be, because these are the closest I've got in my sketching crayons. I mean, I do have some better colours in my watercolour pencils, but they're upstairs and the husband is still asleep off night shift, so I can't go and disturb him. So I'm going to colour them in that. I'm going to show you the yarn colours I've actually got. So this is going to be for the wing trim, so that will be like here, and most of this wing here, if not all of it, is going to be in that green. This one will be for the main body, and these two are going to be for the various feathers within the wings, and obviously there'll be a yellow beak, and I don't seem to have brought any yellow down. The eye here, I'm going to use a toy eye, but then I am going to embroider the little flick afterwards. And these tail tubes, I'm going to do them as a cord, which will be interesting because I don't have a cord tool, but I know there are crochet ways to do cords, so I'll have to have a look at that, or I'll find a little cording tool. Right, the wings, I am going to make them detachable, so I am going to do all four, but they're going to be removable. So I've sketched out how I want the join of the open wing to look, so that would be like behind this closed wing at the moment. I'm not sure if I want them to be press studs to hold them in or magnets. I do know there is going to be wire in a lot of parts of this bird to help hold the structure, like these feathery bits, crest feather bits, they'll have wire in them. The main structure of the open wings is going to be held together with wire as well. There may also be a bit of wire in the closed wing, or perhaps in the feet. I don't know if I'm going to make some sort of stand for it, or if I'm just going to simply perch it on something. I'll decide that towards the end. The closed wing, I know I want to make a solid piece on the back, and then I will go and surface crochet like a shell stitch to go on the top of it for this wing detail here. Most of these wings, I've decided they'll look better if I do them separately. So I'm going to do a chain down. So, I'll chain from here down, and then I'll work around them, going backwards and forwards, and that'll be the main structure for all of these wings, all of these feathers for the wing. Obviously in different sizes and colours depending on what I'm doing. My yarn here is double knit, but I'm going to double it up to Aran weight because I'm going to use a 4.5 hook, which is my favourite for designing. Okay, let's start with the head. Now I am finding this a lot with AI images. It's like the rounds are always running the wrong way. Most crochet heads will be worked from the top down. This has the benefit of leaving the head base open, allowing for better securing of the head to the body, or simply, I say simply, continuing the rounds from the head into the neck and then to the body. And this eliminates the need for joining all together. I mean, let's face it, when you're putting items together, that's your weak point. It's always going to be at a joint. So I've decided to start the head at the beak so I can end at these feathery bits at the back of the head. So that'll give me a few more options with them, but I'm thinking they're going to end up being a chain with some wiring, but I'll get to that when I get to it. And what I'm going to do is on the back of the head here, where I have chained 14, I am now going to do double crochets all the way down, going through the loop here and capturing the wire in. Once that's been done, then I'm going to bend it to this curve, and then I'm going to continue round the circle and create the second head feather, and then continue round and create the third head feather. The shaping around the eyes, I'm gonna create this by running thread around the toy eye and pulling it in. I have to admit, I'm not too fond of doing this, but until I figure out a nice way to create the dents with stitches, the dents for the eyes, that's what I mean, I'm kind of stuck with this method. The beak, I'm not entirely sure about how to go about it. So I'm going to try starting at the widest point first, but I may have to go from the smallest point. Okay, so I tried a magic circle and a chain to create a loop. Both failed, but the shape was working, it was getting there. I wonder if it's gonna have to be a flat piece and stitched together. Yep, all that trial and error for a little flat triangle. Well, there you go, that's what the beak looks like. Onto the body. I'm gonna start the same way as the head, but the circle of the belly does need to be a bit smoother. By the circle, sorry, I mean the curve of the tummy. Looking at the sizes, I think it's going to be about 16 rounds total. At least the rounds are going the right way, unlike the head. Right, I'm going to start from the bum, so I can have a better connection point for connecting the head to the body. Oh my god, I can't believe that. 16 rounds on the dot. I'm getting good at this. Wings. Okay, I am going to do all 4 of these wings, like I said at the beginning. I do want them to be interchangeable. I don't want all 4 on the finished work, but we'll go from... Well, we'll just have to see what happens. So wings, I'm going to start by doing the closed wings first. I think these are going to have to be in separate pieces, so I'm just going to start first with the main back of the wing. Alright, so there's the back part of the wing done, and the separate long feathers, and then the surface crochet as well to make it look as feathery as possible. I don't know, something I don't like about this. I'm going to try, because obviously I've already made one, I'm showing you the second one here. I'm going to try and work it into one, well, maybe not one piece, but at least less than 5 pieces. That hasn't worked. Okay, it's stuck being 5 pieces. You're just going to have to stitch them together. Open wings now. I'm going to start with a basic tube in green. I'm not working on shaping, as the wire and the attaching of the other feathers onto this base bit should be enough. The actual feathers themselves, I chose to work them in 2 separate sections. So each feather was made individually and then joined together. So we have first these smaller feathers. So they were each made individually and then joined to the line. And the same goes for the larger backing feathers. They too were all made individually and then joined up into a line. And then it was a case of constructing these 3 wing pieces together to create one wing. And I have to admit, I am very pleased with these wings. Also doing the wire in the open wing just to help give it a bit more stability and a little bit more shaping. But as you can see, it's not as if it needs a lot of it. The additional feathers are working quite well. Okay. And here we go, our finished fantasy bird. You're gonna have to let me know which version you like, wings closed or wings open. I'm going for wings open. That's definitely my favourite type. Tail feathers. I know I originally said I was gonna do like a cord, but I don't have a cording tool. I can't find one anywhere, and the crochet techniques I don't like, and so I'm just going to do a chain 30 and then double crochets all the way down back to the beginning of the chain and then attach it to the butt of the bird. And that only leaves these little feet here. They're just little curves by the looks of them, so I'm just going to work a few DCs backwards and forwards. That's single crochet for your US terms, DC for British terms. Right, time to vote for the next AI to reality. Don't forget to vote. Bye YouTube.